Good evening. I watched a brilliant short video from the Operation Merlin Falcon channel, which I'll link below. And the title is The Lucy Letby Files Survey Says ? And please watch the video and please subscribe to Operation Merlin Falcon channel. I think Operation Merlin Falcon has hit on a really important line of inquiry to track down as much as we possibly can. And I don't want to say exactly what's in the video, but in short, it's with regard to parent survey forms, parental experience forms in the neonatal unit. But I'll link it below. And it is very interesting, and I think it has to be just followed up as much as we possibly can. And Operation Merlin Falcon in the video is saying, well, do they still exist? What's in them, essentially? But I'm not going to repeat everything that OMF is saying, obviously. But it led to, I looked at the OMF's putting it out there, how can we find these, are they still available? So I looked at the 2016 CQC report, and there's a section in there in which it says that the baby charity Bliss, collated and collected those parent experience surveys, and that what they then did is basically, I'm assuming based on what it says in the CQC report, they did some kind of summary report, which they then sent back. They sent back to the Countess of Chester Hospital. I might as well read exactly what they said. They said, parental experience services from families who had received care in the neonatal unit were collected through Bliss, the charity, and results received by the unit offered results received, either some kind of report or summary report or collation of all the information, and they put it in some kind of more summarized, digestible form, I guess, back to COCH. Results received by the unit, i.e. back to COCH, offered opportunities to identify areas where they were performing well and areas that required improvement. So this has all been set off by Operation Merlin Falcon, and the fact that he's going in great detail through the video, one of the videos of the unit, and it's actually seeing. Well, you'll see it on the video. I don't need to tell you every part of it, but it's just a fantastic spot and a brilliant find by OMF, which is why it's so great that he's back, which is fantastic and really vital, I think, ongoing, because there's so much more to come out and to find out. Anyway, Bliss as a charity does not fall under the FOI Act, so you can't do an FOI request, but what you can do is a research data request, which I've done that now. Apparently there's a form that they're meant to send you, but I've done a preliminary communication to say what we're after, and I thought to cover the 2015, 2016 years, but also to go a bit before and a bit after, but really 2015, 2016 is key, but as much as they can give us as possible. Obviously redacting names, and that's what OMF says as well. We're not looking for any details. Redact as much as you need to, but it's just to get a sense of what the parental experiences were, and that's why OMF did the video, you see. And I think it's really important and a brilliant find there, and a brilliant direction to explore. So I'm going to sneeze. Just have to. So contacted them with regard to this research element of Bliss. Just asked them to give us as much as they can do. It also then led on to, and apparently there's a form, and it's like a 4-week turnaround period potentially, but I don't know if they'll give us anything, but it's worth a shot, isn't it? It's worth a shot. It doesn't matter if they can redact it all. It led then on to about what published reports Bliss, and I don't know, other sort of people looking into this miscarriage of justice might have looked into the Bliss reports already, but maybe even I've heard of that as well. But for some reason, they're new to me now. Anyway, it's quite possible that it's easy to forget things en route, and people have mentioned them, and they've talked about elements of them, but it's possible that that's out there already. But for me, it feels new because I asked AI and stuff. Did Bliss do any published reports, ideally about like parental surveys, so for the public, but they don't specifically do that with regard to specific hospitals for public access. But obviously there's this research direction thing that we're trying that. So, but it's led to the reports that they do, and there are some very specific reports in 2015 and 2016, which on posts under Operation Merlin Falcon's video, I put links to the 3 reports that are relevant to those years from Bliss, and those reports there. So there's one from 2016, which is about transfers of premature and sick babies. And that's a report examining neonatal transport services across the UK. So it's not from the NHS, it's from this charity. So there may be some really important information there. Just as a caveat again, maybe other people have already explored this and talked about it, and I either missed it or can't remember it. But even if this is all a repetition, it doesn't matter, does it? And I'm just hoping that as many people can click on these links of these 3 reports. That's the first one. I'll tell you the other 2 in a minute. And then there might be things to glean there, especially, well, from anybody who looks at them, anything you think is useful. So that's the first one that I've linked there, and it's on my posts on my channel, and it's under Operation Merlin Falcon's excellent video there, which is what's kicked all this off. It's totally what's kicked it off. Second report, also from 2016, is called Time for Change. And that report is specific, and this is interesting again, specifically focused on services in Wales. So that's very interesting in light of the other issues about Wales and Betsy Cadwallader going into special measures and hospital closures and reduction of levels of 2 of the hospitals there, and the following impact on the Northwest neonatal network, i.e. Chester, Merseyside. The third Bliss report that you can, I think, well, they're all PDFs, so I think you can download them, or you can read them on your screen, just link to them. I haven't downloaded them yet, and I haven't looked at them yet, but the third Bliss report is called Hanging in the Balance, and that's in 2015. So these are really, you know why it's important these days, don't we? We know. Hanging in the Balance. Now that is about, this is a national report by Bliss, the charity. And it says it's a report that highlighted that only 14% of neonatal units in England met the recommended nursing levels. Only 14. So I hope as many people get onto these, obviously Operation Merlin Falcon, and anyone and everyone else get onto these Bliss baby reports. I'm going to start having a look through them as well, and anything we can glean from these that might be of help in terms of contextualizing or information or facts that we hadn't been hitherto aware of that might be important to ascertaining what was going on in neonatal care generally, but also in specific areas. And it might just fire up other lines of thought and inquiry, really, because it's all about contextualizing what was going on there. Why was 2015, and this goes back to the whole situation in Wales with the hospitals. Why were those years different? And they were different. They were different for that network. But why? And how to support that with data. Thanks so much again to Operation Merlin Falcon. Done great that he's back. Thank God he's back. And cheers everyone. Have a good evening there. Bye.